I mean, PS2 is gonna lock down fucking
It's
Wandale.
a
over.
defense
Can
than
you guys
Eagles.
can you guys hold on a second? Hold on one second. Real quick.
Here we go. Here we go.
Ay, this fucker.
If you thought I was delusional before, just wait till you see me now, boys.
I love it.
You know what?
Go Big Blue. Fuck Philadelphia, by the way. Fuck all Philly fans who are
Agreed.
sitting here crying and weeping about their fucking loss to the Giants. Fuck them for running the tush push 4 straight fucking times and
Like a band.
still holding that L. Fuck Philadelphia. That's all I
Can I
have to
get
say.
an amen? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
You're delusional, yes, but I don't disagree with anything you said. He's spitting straight
Die,
facts. Like,
Eagles, die.
There we go.
what a great way to start the video.
Yes, I
Right?
fucking dude. This was the best week of football for me.
I guess for both of us, really.
It was beautiful. Well, let's get right into it, guys. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Picks. We are in week 7 now of the regular season, aka the second now week of Philly's downfall. It's going to start happening. I'm calling it. We are joined by Ben. We are also joined by Slower for the recap portion of this. So let's get right into that recap. Unfortunately, Ben did get the one challenge over on me, so he did gain 2 more points on me. Yeah, it was 7-point game last week. It is now back to a 9-point game. 65-56 is the current score of Knicks Picks. All right, so let's get into the recap real quick, and we start with the greatest game that has ever been played on turf in MetLife Stadium. It is the Giants kicking the ever-living shit out of the Eagles, 34-17, and I'm sure Slower has a hot take on this, but I'm probably about to steal them all right now and probably double down on some of that shit. So number 1, Jalen Hurts is not even a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Your precious Super Bowl MVP from last season is not even a top 10 quarterback when he has to throw the ball further than 10 yards or do anything besides scramble or get tush pushed.
Or getting his butt pushed. Yep.
Number 2, the tush push. This will be the game that will get the tush push banned. 4 straight times, not a single person like that. There are 2 Philadelphia Eagles fans that I actually respect. That is Mike and my boss Tony, because even they understand this is fucking annoying at this point. And to all the Eagle fans out there who think that the tush push is justified just because they're running it illegally and the Eagles are the only ones that apparently can do it correctly illegally, ram a stick up your ass. Anyways, and number 3, this is not just going at Jalen Hurts. This is going against the entire Philadelphia Eagles offense. They aren't even a top 20 offense in the NFL right now. I could name 19 offenses that are performing better than the Philadelphia Eagles.
I disagree with the last point. However, I would change that to they would be a top 10 offense if they got rid of AJ Brown.
I don't think
Because
AJ Brown is the problem. If
you
you
don't
want me
need-
to stop talking shit about Philly for like 10 seconds and just give a bit of realism here, they have a lot of injuries on the offensive line, and I think that is fucking their team completely because their team is very run dependent, and when the offensive line isn't that good and the run dependency kind of breaks down, that's where the main point of this that I want to get across, Jalen Hurts not being a top 10 quarterback, that's where this comes into play, and that's why this offense is struggling. I don't think it's AJ Brown, although I would love to see him get off Philly. It is what it is.
Well, my point being is like the fact that, okay, if you can't get the run game, you just have 2 Pro Bowl caliber receivers still in Devontae and AJ. Like, you can't argue. I don't think you can argue against that. They're both like talent wise there.
I think this all falls on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, how are you not getting the ball to them?
Did I steal all your hot takes, or is there anything I missed?
I'm gonna tell you guys 2 different players, player A and player B, okay? You guys are gonna tell me who is better. Through 5 full games, player A, 71 carries, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns. Player B, 80 carries, 304 yards, 5 touchdowns. Who is better?
Player B, motherfucker.
Do you guys know who player A and player B is?
I would
Is
assume
this
player A is
Saquon?
Saquon Barkley and player B is Cam Scatterbo.
Wow, it's as if you know where I got this from. Player A is Saquon Barkley for the first 5 games of his Giants career. Player B is Cam Scatterbo. Cam Scatterbo is going to have a better Giants career than Saquon Barkley.
To be fair, the epitome of Saquon Barkley's Giants career was having one healthy season and bringing them to the playoffs. Let's get off the Giants for a little bit. We'll have plenty of time to talk about how the Giants will kick the Broncos' ass later. But speaking of the Broncos, we go into Sunday, the London game, and quite possibly the most boring game of football. I'm sorry, London, that you had to witness that. That is not normal football. I don't know what the fuck this game was, but
And they still got the Jags this week.
But yeah, the Broncos offense didn't look good. Their defense, as always, looks great. I'll get into more of that when it pertains to the Giants matchup later.
I think at the end of the day, my hot take is when you're 0-6, and as much as it's gonna pain me to say it as someone that also came from New York and his parents are Jets fans and yada yada yada, you probably at some point had to trade Garrett Wilson.
I mean, it depends on what it depends on what their plan is, I guess. But Garrett Wilson's gonna want a contract extension here pretty soon, and there's gonna be no point in giving that to him if they just don't have a clear path to like a good season.
I would say you go to the front office and you say you either get a new coach or you trade me.
The Steelers went on to beat the Browns 23-9. The Chargers went on to beat the Dolphins 29-27, a little bit closer than I think that one should have probably been. The Patriots went on to beat the Saints 25-19. The Rams went on to beat the Ravens 17-3. Ravens are just in absolute shambles. I think we said it last week that their season is pretty much done. Puka did get injured in this game and was probably his only unproductive game of the season thus far. Obviously, when you get injured, that happens. But hopefully the Rams offense doesn't take a hit from this game, but I guess we'll see what happens there. The Colts went on to beat the Cardinals 31-27. Daniel Jones continues his impressive run with a 5-1 start to the season. Granted, I think this upcoming week is probably their first like real good opponent in the last couple weeks, so we'll get an actual glance at this. It is the Chargers that we were just talking shit about.
I had to think about it a little bit about, wow, like Colts are doing pretty good, and then I looked at who they've beaten. They've beaten the Dolphins,
Yep.
the Broncos, the Titans,
Yep.
lost to the Rams, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. Who have they really beaten?
The Broncos would be like the only good win in
Yeah.
there, and like that's not even. And I'll get to it when I'm talking about the Giants and the Broncos, but I don't think the Broncos are that good of a team. Like I thought very high. Yeah, well, yes, very good defensive team, but I thought very highly of them, and I thought very highly of Bo Nix. I was looking at some stats earlier today. Bo Nix is probably like out of all the teams with winning records, he's probably the worst quarterback out of all those teams. It hasn't been. It's been a sophomore slump for Bo Nix, but they still have a winning record, so it's hard to call it really a slump. But yeah, the Colts have benefited from an easy schedule thus far. So the Seahawks went on to beat the Jaguars 20-12. The Jaguars had been playing great, and then
they play like the Jags.
Then they just have one week where they play like the Jaguars. I don't really see what that is. The Seahawks, kind of like the Cardinals, it just depends on the week, what Seahawks team you're going to get and what Sam Darnold you're going to get. The Panthers go on to beat the Dallas Cowboys 30-27. I just want to put this out there. This was also another hot take I wanted to say about the Giants and the Eagles, and I completely forgot about it until now. It was another Jalen Hurts slander, so we're just going to keep that going real quick. If I were to rank the NFC East quarterbacks right now, number 4 is Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. Number 3 is Jackson Dart. Number 2 is Jaden Daniels, and number 1 is Dak Prescott. I am legitimately starting to feel bad for Dak Prescott because it doesn't matter how good of a game Dak Prescott has, this defense is going to lose him the game almost every time at this point.
He is living the Joe Burrow treatment.
Dak's going to have the same thing. I think Dak statistically is going to end up one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year, and the Cowboys are going to be like 5-12.
Second in passing yards, second in passing touchdowns. He's 13 touchdowns for 3 interceptions. He's up there he is absolutely laying it up, and
the Cowboys still suck.
Yeah.
I love it, but I do feel bad for Dak Prescott. The Raiders went on to beat the Titans 20-10. I'm sure we all have a lot to talk about this game.
Oh yeah.
The Buccaneers went on to beat the 49ers 30-19, and I'm sure we have something to say about this one. Right now, I would say Baker Mayfield for MVP.
You took the words right out of my mouth, bub.
I'm only hesitant because I'm trying to think of the. Yeah, no, I can't argue. I can't.
The only other person I would put above that would be a non-quarterback, and that would be Puka. And I mean, they're never going to give it to a wide receiver. So, but yeah, Baker Mayfield for MVP. The Bucks look great. The Packers, the reason we have slower here this week is the Packers did manage to actually beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Not as convincingly as one would hope, but 27-18. Is there anything that you want to get off your chest for this game, or?
Matt LaFleur needs to find his balls and let Jordan Love throw the ball. That's all I really got to say. I'm tired of jet sweeps. I'm tired of these screen passes. Like, it needs to be done. Like, throw the ball down the fucking field.
I think it would have been hilarious hilarious if you guys had lost to Joe Flacco twice in a season on 2 separate teams. I think that just
Would have been so fucking funny.
I would have found that hilarious. I'm sorry. Maybe
it would have been even better if like Arizona also like traded for him like immediately after that, just for that.
He just keeps going to
keeps going to whoever the Packers are playing. That's the only team he can beat. Ben did get his challenge game on me. The Chiefs go on to beat the Lions 30-17. I will say this: the Jared Goff receiving touchdown that got called off. Yes, it was illegal motion, but the timing of that flag felt weird. Like if you're gonna call an illegal shift, call the illegal shift, not 10 seconds after the play had run. Did that play lose the Lions this game? No. Did the Chiefs outplay the Lions in this game? Yes. And do we have some question marks on this Lions team now? Defensively, I would say yes.
I would say of the quote unquote playoff teams, they have the worst defense.
And I just want to put this out there. Like we were talking about how weak the NFC conference is. Outside of the Bucks, are you scared of anybody? Is there?
Nope.
There's no team, even the Bucks. I can see the Bucks being beatable. Honestly, even the AFC, because we just saw Buffalo lose 2 in a row. Like, there's no team in the NFL that looks unbeatable, that looks like a surefire Super Bowl team.
I was gonna say, like, this was also like one of my hot takes. I just didn't know when to say it, so thank you, Nick. There's not one single elite team as of right now. Like, there's not one.
I would say if they can get healthy, I think the Niners definitely could argue that, because if they're healthy, they do have talent-wise probably one of the best teams.
I want to know how Slower feels about this take. I feel like if the Packers and the Lions were to trade head coaches, the Packers would be the best team in the league.
1000%.
Agree.
Yeah.
1000%.
Dude, you get Dan Campbell, who would go for on 4th and 20 on his own 20,
and just tell Jordan, fuck it. Let's just finish out these Monday night games real quick. Obviously, Ben, super happy. The Falcons go on to beat the Buffalo Bills 24-14. What was crazy about this game is that it seemed like a home game for Buffalo, but
wild.
Buffalo's offense just could not wake up at any point in this game. And just because we're probably not going to talk about it, I'll just throw it in there. The Bears did go on to beat the Washington Commanders 25-24, making me pretty happy. That helps the Giants in the NFC East standings when everyone in the NFC East loses besides the Giants. Ben Johnson's finally starting to get his groove together with Chicago. But yeah, Ben, I'll give you a chance to gloat about your Falcons here.
First off, Bijan Robinson. I know the Pope is a Bears fan, but Bijan Robinson is him. He is literally the only if he
and Drake London had you can't discount Drake London.
I will say this though, objectively though, this is the non-delusional part. Penix,
I wanted to get to that.
The reason they lose.
I wanted to get to that. That is going to be at whatever point your season ends. Whatever point your season ends, I think it'll be Penix's fault.
He is the Achilles. He is definitely the weakest link on there, which is hard to say when you have Pitts wasn't doing anything either. There was a lot of times in that game where Penix looked very scared, and maybe it's because it was Monday night, it was prime time. I can excuse that, but if that is a trend, it's really going to be Bijan. Bijan would have to be offensive player of the year. Offensive player of the year for them to be continuing to be good.
Let me just ask you guys this then: if Bills and Chiefs versed right now, and you had to put $1,000 on it, be honest, who would you pick?
Kansas City, home way neutral.
I told you guys, honestly, when the Kansas City Chiefs almost started 0-3, and we were all like, they might not make the playoff, guys. It was gonna happen at some point.
I think unless the Bills make it, make it to the Super Bowl, I think McDermott needs to be fired.
All right. Well, that was the Week 6 recap. Just again, real quick, Ben with a 9-point lead, but we got a few more differs this week. Slower, we appreciate you. We appreciate you hopping in for another recap. Is there anything you want to say before you get out of here?
If we lose to the Cardinals, bad things are going to happen.
But you will be here next week. That's all I have to say.
I will be here next week.
We'll have to see how it goes. Oh, picture this week, by the way.
Can you make it Brian Branch punching Juju?
Sure. I'm sure I can find that.
I love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out.
That was Slower. He was here for the recap. Now let's get into these Week 7 predictions. Boom, they're up on the screen right now for you guys to take a look at. Take a pause, take a look for your special little team and see what we had to say about them. But none of them are as important as the first one we're going to talk about. That's right. It is the Giants going up against the Denver Broncos. We're going to start with my game. My game this week, it is the Giants going up against the Broncos, and I can't be wearing this shirt and talking all this shit and then pick the Broncos to beat the fucking Giants. I can't, like, that's the only reason I'm risking the point here, just to go with the Giants. Here's why I think the Giants can win this game. Their offense has been looking phenomenal, dating all the way back to against the Chargers. Even against the Saints, their offense looked great. They had the 5 turnovers consecutive that just screwed them up. I'm counting that as a fluke, and it's probably something that's not going to happen too often. And they didn't turn the ball over at all against Philadelphia, so case in point. But their offense has looked great. The Denver Broncos defense, while it is good, I think could give up 17 points. Now on the flip side of that, the Broncos only able to put up 13 on the Jets defense last week. The Giants defense has been playing out of their fucking mind, at least these last couple weeks. I like the matchup. The only obviously thing that's getting to me is this Broncos defense. If they can force turnovers, that is going to kill the Giants.
Both of these defenses can shut down opposing offenses in different ways, because like the Giants, it's more so like their front. So you have 4 basically first round pass rushers. Like it's your front 7 is like your key, whereas the Broncos, they have a pass rush, but it's mostly their secondary where that's where they get their pressure. So it's kind of like they both do it differently, but they both still do it effectively. So that's kind of why I'm leaning more towards the Broncos, because you have still a rookie quarterback, and you don't really have, as you can correct me wrong, you don't really have that like number 1 reliable target. I mean, Robinson is actually doing solid, so I can't really, not shitting on him, but like,
yeah, the Giants definitely need to find another receiver. Going into your game, it's another differ actually. You're picking the Falcons in this one. We're both being homers, and the other ones of us
100%.
are both going against it. So I'm going
100%.
against that. Here's my reasoning. Obviously, we just saw the Falcons defense be able to shut down the Bills offense, specifically the run game. James Cook was absolutely shut down in this game. The difference between Christian McCaffrey and James Cook is night and day, and that's not racial. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that sound that way, but
no.
But Christian McCaffrey does a lot more for an offense than James Cook does, and I feel like there's a lot of packages that the 49ers have that will get around the pass rush that the Falcons have managed to put up. And your secondary is not the best in the world, I guess is where I want to put that. I do think that the 49ers can utilize Christian McCaffrey in a lot better of a way than the Bills managed to utilize James Cook. And then offensively, I think you guys kind of caught lightning in a bottle last week, and I hate to say it. I do think that's what happened. The Bills defense is not great. I do think the 49ers shut down, as long as they can shut down Bijan, I think the 49ers win this game.
So what I heard is a lot of good, like here it is, a lot of good, logical, sound reasoning that I believe in you with. Bijan, baby. That's all I got. Okay. In all seriousness, like I said in the recap, the Achilles heel is still the quarterback position in Atlanta. It is still Penix. I do think that Bijan, first off, savior by fantasy team. When you have that much talent, especially even Drake London, and I think if Kyle Pitts can get going on offense, I feel very confident that they can at least get another week win, like another back to back. But I will admit, win or lose this week, I'm not, unless Penix turns it around, I'm not feeling very confident in my team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, moving on to the game of the week. We decided it is going to be the Bucks going up against the Lions. Couldn't get that one out. I could see the Lions winning this game. I think if they can get their pass rush to Baker enough, then it's going to help them out a lot. Baker's on a fucking mission this year, it feels like.
I'm not even right now. I think even if the Lions get a pass rush, I mean, you saw him get like basically injured and pop back up against the Tech. I don't think anything rattles him.
We did also think about making the Jaguars and Rams the game of the week as well, just so that we could differ on all 4 before we get into the challenge game here. The game in London this week. Hopefully we finally get a good London game. That's really all I have to say.
This is the best chance.
But let's get to the actual challenge game of the week. It is the Colts going up against the Chargers. And I talked about it earlier, how I think the Chargers are kind of on their Charger time of the season right now. And we also talked about earlier how the Colts haven't actually beaten anybody of importance so far this season. So this is a game where we find out a lot, I think, about both teams, and I feel like this one's pretty fair to say it could be pretty 50-50. Daniel Jones and this Colts offense have played great this year, specifically with Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has been absolutely lighting it up. The Chargers, on the other hand, they are without Hampton, at least for the next couple weeks. They lost Najee Harris a couple weeks ago. Before that, a lot of struggles on this Chargers offense. I feel like that's part of their like chargering that I keep mentioning. I kind of only have to go with the Colts with this one just because they're healthier.
Daniel Jones hasn't proven this season for him to win the game. Like, he hasn't put the team on his back. It's been a lot of like play action where like he is relying on the run. It's just open because like he can just do a play action where like he can fake the defense out. We'll see, but that's my
We will have
analysis.
to see what happens, but that is it for Nick's picks week 7. Just to run through it real quick, we did have one more differ. It was the Jets and the Panthers. Who the hell cares? I think the funniest thing about the Thursday night game that you guys are going to be watching tonight is somebody called it the Icy Hot Bowl because it's Aaron Rodgers going up against Joe Flacco, the 2 oldest quarterbacks in the NFL.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, the Icy Hot Bowl that's hilarious to me. Chiefs should get an easy one against the Raiders. Browns and Dolphins is probably contending with shitter of the week with the Jets-Panthers game. Patriots should have an easy one against the Titans. The Bears going up against the Saints. Hopefully they can keep their streak going. I almost picked the Vikings to beat the Eagles, but for whatever reason it kind of feels that way with Philly and Minnesota. Philly just beats Minnesota. That just is what it is. The Packers going up against the Cardinals, as Slower said. Hopefully the Packers can actually look good in a game for once. Commies going up against the Cowboys. Another one I was actually kind of close on picking the Cowboys in this one, but again, their defense is just going to fuck them in this game some way, shape, or form. And then the other Monday night game besides the Bucks and Lions, which we talked about, is the Seahawks going up against the Texans. We both have the Seahawks in that one. But yes, that rounds out Nick's picks week 7. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Make sure your notifications are on. Nick's picks comes out every Thursday. We have some Pokemon videos coming out this week, some challenge videos with Madden. I'm sorry about Road to Glory. I did have a Road to Glory recorded, but the audio was all messed up because it was my first time recording a video after resetting my computer, and I never fixed the audio settings, so you can't hear me at all in the video. I have all the footage, so I'll probably give a montage or something like that in the episode, or in the next episode whenever that comes out, and we'll just start from there. I believe I have like 3 or 4 games left of my Syracuse season. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and get into the comments below to enter into our giveaway for this mystery slab once we hit 500 subscribers. But that is it for Nick's picks. We will see you guys in the next one. Have a great one. Peace.
You don't got a pack?
Oh, Ben. Ben. Oh, Ben, you know what time it is. This is during the
end this video without a pack.
No, Leo, we do this in the outro. This is the outro section of the video.
Oh, I'm aware. I just want to make sure.
And we open the pack. In case you guys are unfamiliar, and I don't know how you would be at this point, but in case you are, we are giving away a Japanese slab to somebody in the comments as soon as we hit 500 subscribers, hoping to hit that by the end of football season. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. To honor that giveaway, we open a Japanese pack at the beginning or end of each video. Nick's picks is no exception to that. So we have some Night Wanderer, and we start off with an Absol. Typically, I do have a better camera for this. All my Pokemon videos have been with a better camera lately. I just don't have a way to do that while we're in a Discord call. So Absol, we have, what the fuck is that? It's an elephant, some sort of elephant. I don't know. We have an Eevee. That's an easy one to guess. We have a Garvantula. Yeah, Garvantula. And Night Wanderer has been absolute cheeks to us so far. I swear to God. Absolute fucking cheeks. But you know what isn't cheeks? Getting a free slab from some guy on the internet who likes to talk about football and open Pokemon cards. So, and how do you do that? You subscribe and you get in the comments down below. Ben, send us out of here.
Every week, I join for Nick's picks, and every week I expect it to be chaotic. And this was no exception. And that's all I gotta say. Last great Giants quarterback. Bye, guys.